started exploring more in my last few years of college. For a while, I would just trace things like I might, or no, I wouldn't trace. I would trace some things, but I would actually print out. I would print out a picture of something, and then I would paint it exactly. So I had all the lines that I needed right in front of me to be able to copy. I basically copied it. I would find stuff on Pinterest that I really liked, and then I would recreate it myself. And I actually was really good at it. But then again, just about anybody can copy stuff, so it's not really, that's not that talented. But it was a little bit later, after I had started traveling and I had started taking all these photographs, that I had a little bit of inspiration. So then I started painting based on a photograph, which it takes a lot more talent than going based off of somebody else's painting, because when you're painting based on a photo, you have to know how to create like all the different shades and shadows and everything. So there's definitely a little bit more of an element of skill involved there. But I think that it comes from my dad's mom, so my grandma, who I never actually met because she died before I was born. But apparently she used to be able to just like sketch things and they would look really, really well done. She just had a really good eye for it. And then her father, I believe, was actually an artist who made his money by painting and selling art. And my dad's cousin, so I think she would be my second cousin. She's an artist. She paints in Seattle. And she's very, very talented. It's incredible. So I actually do have an Etsy where I sell these paintings. I will link it below. I sell the paintings, and then I also sell prints of the paintings, because obviously I only have one original. It's not super active. I started it up a couple years ago. It's called The Hungry Voyager. The Hungry Voyager. So that's where I sell them, but it's really, I don't do much with it, just because I have I have an actual real job that takes up all of my time, and in my free time, I want to be like out doing stuff and spending time with family and friends. So it's a side hustle that I pursued a couple years ago, but I kind of fallen off of it a bit. But anyway, so let me show you some of my paintings, and let me know what you think of them. So all of these are like little slices of my heart, because they're from places that I've been and places that I love, places that I think are so beautiful that I want, to recreate them in my home. So I'll show you. This is probably my favorite one. I love this one. So these are the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. So the Colorado that's my favorite. Let me show you another one of my favorites. So, this is on a thinner canvas, like a half inch instead of, actually that looks like 2 inches. Well, no, or maybe this is a 1 inch. I don't know. I don't know measurements. So I love this one too. Okay, so it's also Rocky Mountains. The thing is that the Rockies are so scenic because they have, like, you know, the little snow caps at the top. But the sky here, this is like how I love painting. Well, I have a couple ways I like to paint the sky. This is one of them. So this is, shoot, what's the lake called? Oh, I want to say Emerald Lake, but I don't think it's Emerald Lake. Gosh, this is so sad. I went to Colorado in 2019, which was almost 3 years ago now. Got all the pine trees. But this was, I don't think it's Emerald Lake, but I can't think of the name. Anyways, this was my favorite trail that I went on in the Rockies, and me and my sister actually sat on a rock, like right here basically, and we ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, because you know, you gotta bring like food that's gonna withstand 6 hours of hiking. So we brought peanut butter and jelly, and we just sat here this park was, I want to say like a little bit north of the city. There's these beautiful flowers, beautiful yellow flowers, and there was like hiking trails in the park, so you could hike down to the beach, and then the beach I think was the Sound. It was along the Sound. I couldn't remember the name of what kind of water that is. But yeah, so I loved this park because there was like all these trails that went down to like a little beach. But yeah, so you're over here, you're like on the mainland where Seattle is, and then you look across the Sound and there's these mountains, which I think I embellished a little bit, like how big the mountains are. But nonetheless, super beautiful area. I loved Seattle. I want to go back, but it's very far away from where I live. But yeah, I did very much enjoy this park here. So the last one that I want to show you is another foreign place, foreign country. So this one I visited right after I graduated college in May of 2018. Actually went on like a little Euro trip, and I went to Italy to teach English for a couple of months before I started like my real job, which was incredible. I want to do it again. There's just nothing like being in a foreign country where you don't speak the language and being welcomed by the people of that country. It's amazing. Because yeah, I did not know Italian. I still don't know Italian. But anyway, before I got to Italy, the first place that I went in Europe was Iceland, which I loved Iceland. Iceland is super scenic, and it's actually very small. Like, it's very drivable. It looks like a big country on a map, but it's really not. It's kind of skewed because of the way that as you get to, I don't know, like higher longitudes, like away from the equator on a map or on a globe, the countries actually look way more expanded than they really are. It's crazy. So I actually saw like a pretty good amount of Iceland, and this is in Reykjavik, which when I was actually there, they called it Reykjavik. But like everybody here says Reykjavik. So, although this is how you spell it, REYKJAVIK. So before I went, I was calling it Reykjavik. But yeah, so it's got a little harbor. Reykjavik is actually quite small. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense because Iceland itself is not super populated. Super scenic though. One of the interesting things I learned while I was there is that pretty much everyone in Iceland is basically related, which I guess kind of makes sense. Which is also kind of weird to think about. You gotta like check your bloodlines a little bit every time you go on a first date. I love you, Icelandic people. My tour guide told us so many fun facts, and he loves his country, and so do I. But anyways, so